Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Dipti Mehru and I am going to talk about levers. A lever is a rigid bar which is capable of movement about a fixed point called fulcrum. Work is done when a force or effort is applied on the one point on the lever and acts upon another force or weight at the second point on the lever. So this is the example of the lever. This is the fulcrum. This is the rigid bar. The effort would be applied at one point of the lever and it will act on the other point of lever where the weight is to be lifted. Now, components of the lever. There are three components of the lever: fulcrum, efforts arm and weights arm. So this one is the fulcrum, the center point. This is the fulcrum. The distance from fulcrum to the effort is known as efforts arm. So this is the efforts arm, and the distance from fulcrum to the weight is known as weights arm. Now, types of lever. There are three types of lever: first order lever, second order lever and the third order lever. First order lever. In this type, the fulcrum is between the effort and the weight. The fulcrum may be situated centrally or towards either side. Thus, the efforts arm and the weights arm may be equal or one may exceed the other in the length. So here as we can see, the fulcrum is situated central between weight and effort. So the fulcrum may be situated centrally or it may be shifted on the either side of the lever. So the efforts arm or the weights arm may be equal in length or one may exceed the other. These are the examples of the first order lever. Here this is the fulcrum, here will be the load and this is the effort. Here will be the effort. This is another example of the first order lever. This is the fulcrum, this is the load and here would be the effort. Second order lever. In second order lever, the weight is situated between the fulcrum and the effort. So here, this is the fulcrum and this is the effort, and in between here is the weight. Therefore, the efforts arm always exceeds the weights arm. So the efforts arm would be this much and the weights arm would be only this much, right? Now these are the examples of the second order lever. This lemon squeezer here, this is the fulcrum, the load would be here and the effort would be applied from here. This is another example of second order lever. This is the effort, the load would be situated here and the fulcrum is here. Now the third order lever. In this type, the effort is between the fulcrum and the weight. So this is the fulcrum and this is the weight, and in between here there is effort. Therefore, the weights arm always exceeds the efforts arm. So here the weights arm would always exceed the efforts arm. Examples of the third order levers are this. Here this is the fulcrum, the fixed point. Effort would be applied from here and the weight would be lifted from here. The same here would be the effort. This is the fulcrum and the weight would be lifted from here. Now, mechanical advantage. The efficacy of a force in relation to a lever is depend upon two factors. One is the force exerted as the weight or effort, and second is the distance from fulcrum. The product of these two factors is known as the moment of force or torque. So, when weights arm and efforts arm are of equal length and effect of magnitude equal to that of the weight would be required to lift it. So, as we can see here, If the efforts arm and weights arm are equal, then the equal amount of effort would be required as the weight to lift it. So no advantage is gained, but there is the state of equilibrium. No advantage would be gained if the fulcrum is situated centrally, but that would be the state of equilibrium. If the length of the efforts arm exceeds then the weights arm, less effort will be required to achieve the similar result. So, as in the second order lever, if the efforts arm is uh, if the efforts arm exceeds the weight arm, then less effort would be required to lift the weight. Mechanical advantage is gained by using this type of lever. When the ratio of weight and effort is more than 1, it is known as the mechanical advantage. Mechanical advantage is gained in the first order lever when the fulcrum is nearer to the weight than effort. So, as we can see here, if the fulcrum is situated near to the weight, then there would be mechanical advantage in the first order lever. Then it is obtained in all the levers of the second order, and mechanical advantage is never gained in the third order lever. So mechanical advantage is weight divided by effort. If the weights arm exceeds the efforts arm, mechanical advantage occurs. All the levers of the third order represents mechanical disadvantage. Now, levers of the body. In the body, liver is represented by a bone which is capable of movement about a fulcrum formed at the articulating surface of joint. So in the body, a liver is represented by the bone and the fulcrum is represented by the articulating surface of the joint. The effort of the liver is supplied by the force of muscular contraction applied at the point of insertion to the bone. The weight may be either at the center of gravity of the part to be moved or the object to be lifted. Examples of all the three orders of liver are present in the body, but the third order are most numerous. So all the orders of liver are present in the body, but third order livers are more in number. Now the first order liver. The feature of this order is stability. The state of equilibrium can be achieved with or without mechanical advantage. The example of this type are nodding movements of the head and tilting movements of the pelvis on the femoral head. So here as we can see, when we take example of the tilting movement, the fulcrum would be the atlanto-occipital joint here. The load or the weight would be anterior side of the face and the effort would be applied by the posterior neck muscles at their insertion at the skull. Now, second order liver. This is known as the liver of power, as there is always mechanical advantage. The example of this order are standing on the toes and the action of brachioradialis muscle in the elbow flexion. So when we are standing on the toes, fulcrum would be uh, the metatarsophalangeal joint. The load would be shifted as the body weight on the ankle joint, and the effort would be applied from the contraction of the calf muscles. So this is the example of the second order liver. Now the third order liver. In the human body, the example of the third order livers are more than any other type. This type of liver is the liver of velocity. The loss of mechanical advantage is outweighed by the advantage of speed and the range of motion. The example of this order of liver are flexion of the elbow while lifting the weight and hamstring muscle while flexing the knee. So as we can see here, when we are lifting any weight in the hand, then the fulcrum would be the elbow joint. The weight would be placed here on the hand and effort would be supplied from the contraction of biceps muscle. The same way, if we take example of knee flexion, then the fulcrum would be knee joint. The weight or load would be the leg and foot, and the effort would be supplied from the flexion of the hamstring muscle. Now, levers in physiotherapy. Knowledge of lever principles is necessary for the understanding of method of progression in strengthening muscles. The variable factors are the weight and its perpendicular distance from the fulcrum. So, as a physiotherapist, knowing the principle of lever is very important for progression of muscle strengthening. For example, if we take example of deltoid paresis patient, so the patient have difficulty in abducting the arm. So for initiation, so for making it easy initially, what we can do is we can ask the patient to flex the elbow and then abduct the arm. As there would be short leverage, the movement would be easier. And if we want to progress, then we can ask the patient to extend the elbow. That will increase the leverage and the difficulty would be more in compared to the flexed elbow. The same way, as they have said here, the variable factors are the weight and its perpendicular distance from the fulcrum. So the perpendicular distance from the fulcrum that we can change by increasing or decreasing the leverage by flexing or extending the extremities, the distal extremities. And the other variable is the weight. So for that, we can apply resistance. So when applying resistance manually, if for example, for the same abduction of the shoulder, so for applying the resistance, if initially we would apply the resistance just above the elbow, so that would be much easier compared to the resistance applied at the wrist joint, right? So the resistance applied above the elbow would be easy to overcome compared to the resistance applied at the wrist joint. The same example for lower limb. Uh, as we want to uh, check the hip flexion movement, and if we want to apply resistance for hip flexors, so if we would apply resistance just above the knee joint, it would be much easier to overcome compared to the same amount of resistance applied at the ankle joint, right? So this way levers in physiotherapy are quite important to understand. So that was all about levers. These are my references and I hope you all have understood it. Thank you.